I'm Sydney Rogers, and welcome to another edition of FLX Weekly here at FingerLakes1.com. It is March 31st, our last show of the month already, and it is Wine Wednesday, of course. So, this show is brought to you by CV Designs in Seneca Falls. It is the final week to order our spring box, and you can send messages of love and hope for brighter days ahead to anywhere in the U.S., which is really awesome. It's kind of like the perfect Easter basket, but it's an Easter box for adults. Yeah, it's great. Free local delivery or pickup, or $6.95 flat rate for shipping. I forgot to tell everybody that we are here with Catherine Chase of the Cayuga Lake Wine Trail, and Josh is here with us. Is this your very first Wine Wednesday?
This is it.
He's
going to be addicted.
I've had Josh on 2 of this month's podcasts. I've been lucky. I know that he's such a busy guy and can't usually come on anymore, but I'm very glad to have you here. So, we're going to jump right into it because it's a lot.
Obviously, this was the right day for me to come. Because
everyone who comes on says that. Okay, you're only the second, but...
yeah. Literally, this was the right day.
So, in the past, Jim was like, you don't need to come on with food or anything. I'm like, but I have 7 wines, so... I kind of need to for our sake because it is only 11 a.m.
But the food that you brought today. So
let me start with the wine. That's most important. We're gonna go through some newly released rosés.
Okay.
I know it's dreary out today.
Yes.
Don't look out tomorrow. Apparently outside.
No.
But rosés pair perfectly with the weather teas that we had last week and what we have coming up.
Can't wait.
And so I have 7 new releases.
Ooh.
Just a quick backstory on rosé, just so you know the difference. It's a dry yet fruity white wine made with red grapes.
Oh. Okay.
Although some say it's red wine, some say it's white wine.
What do you say?
I just said white, so I guess.
Okay.
But it's kind of an in-betweener. So white wine gets its color from the grape skins.
Right.
So this has minimal skin contact, 24 hours, maybe even just overnight. So that's why it has the beautiful pink colors.
Love that.
And whereas red wine is fully submerged in the skins and the stems and everything.
We're both wearing pink.
And we're both wearing pink. Yes.
That wasn't planned, was it?
I plan to wear this shirt.
Oh, I didn't plan to wear the pink with you. But
I subliminally asked you to yesterday, so you did.
Oh,
I fed it
God,
too.
You
Anyway,
did.
so what I brought on for food-wise is just a personal charcuterie. Charcuteries are super fun, and the spirit of rosé is a lot of fun too. Rosé is so versatile; it pairs with pretty much everything we have on here. Again, it's kind of for our sanity because we're drinking 7 wines at 11 a.m.
This is just some. Look at my plate. It's There's so much I can't.
I could have gone with a
I can't even
glass
get it.
plate, but
It's okay. No.
So I'm just going to chat about the wines. We're going in order from left to right. Okay. You guys can just snack, munch away, and I'll just talk about the wines. It's nothing formal. Eat how you want, as you please.
Oh,
so there aren't rules. But you're saying
there are no rules with a charcuterie.
Okay. I think there are rules still, though.
What rules would you like to instate?
You always told us we need to
eat, sip, eat. No, sip, eat, sip. You're confusing me.
Sip, eat, sip.
Sip, eat, sip.
So that's how you can see what pair.
For the perfect pairing, yes.
Yeah. Usually you're pairing things more specifically.
But all these different rosés. So we have 3 different types. We have a Cab Franc, a Lemberger, Pinot Noir, and then we have a bonus wine in the end that we'll get to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So just honestly, eat as you please, but at least take 1 sip of wine first. So,
okay.
That's your base for the day.
Okay.
So up first, we're going to try Cab Franc rosés. I have Lucas, Hosmer, and Buttonwood Grove.
All of these are brand new releases?
All of these are 2020 vintages.
Whoa.
Yes.
Wow. We're exclusive here.
They're already in the store, but
a couple
of them were just released last week.
Okay,
so,
fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
So Lucas, you'll taste juicy strawberry, peach, and a delicate citrus. I'm going to hold this one up. It's a very delicate pink color.
Oh, it's delicious.
The Hosmer, which is the next one, has a nose of strawberry and raspberry, finishing with cherry and mulberry. And then the third Cab Franc we have, Buttonwood, subtle floral aromas with delicate strawberry flavors. Let's each hold a different one up for these Cab Francs because they all have a different color.
Okay, well, I am holding up
one.
The Lucas.
Okay, and I have Hosmer. I don't know if they can see it well.
Wait, is this what the
Does that work?
influencers
I don't know,
do?
but you can kind of tell. They're all a little bit different, even though they're made from the
pretty.
same grape, and they all have that same strawberry flavors and aromas. Rosés are kind of like snowflakes. They're not all alike.
Okay.
There's different soil, different keeping, different winemaking, different techniques. So they're all just a little bit different, yet still delicious.
Do you see how I'm holding my glass
this
time? That is a rule too, Josh, from one of our viewers. I hold my glass like a Neanderthal, I guess, and you're supposed to hold it all dainty. And
I'm going to use the excuse that I have all of the equipment.
You
next
have
to me
you
because
don't
I'm
have enough
producing
room
right now, and if I held anything like that,
yeah, it's scary.
it would be spilled all over the place.
I agree. That's exactly what I think I said on that show. I was like, I don't trust myself with all of this stuff around, so I have to drink it like this.
Wow, those all taste so
Excellent.
different. Excellent,
And,
yes,
yeah.
but different, yeah.
Oh, I only tasted one so far. Okay.
I just went through and tasted them because I wanted to.
The Hosmer smells really good, too. What did you say had some of the finishes for the Hosmer?
How about you tell me?
Oh, okay.
How about
Well,
quiz
wait,
you?
let me cleanse my palate for a minute.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
little piece of cheese.
Yeah, can't forget to eat.
What kind of cheeses do we have?
We have a honey goat cheese, some soft mozzarella, some Yancey Fancy Finger Lakes champagne cheese, which is like my
Ooh.
favorite cheese. It's so delicate and it goes so good with rosé.
think that's
And
what
then
I
I
just
just got an Irish cheddar. Just softer, not overwhelming cheeses go well with rosés.
Oh my God, so good. Okay. Eat, sip, eat. Eat, sip, eat. Okay.
No, sippy sip. We got it
Oh,
backwards.
That's what I meant. You know, I already
You
sipped.
can do it the other way. It's okay.
yeah,
It'll all
you
work out
can.
still.
Will it? Will it, though?
It does.
Because once you start, it doesn't matter.
Once you start, it doesn't matter, sure. So what
Okay.
do you taste?
Florally. Is that one of them?
Their description says strawberry and raspberry. But I mean it's subjective. Everyone smells and tastes different.
I taste flowers, with good kind of flowers. Does
That's
the
good.
next one have floral hints?
But they're all the same grape, so they're gonna.
Have a little
And
bit of
what's
a
cool is that these might taste different than the 2019 vintages that you may have just finished up at home.
Wow,
Of
the
same.
difference in the smells between Hosmer and Buttonwood is crazy to me. Like you're saying, they're all rosés, but like completely
Same grape.
same grape too, completely different.
Completely
I'm gonna
different,
try
yeah.
this one.
Unrefined taste buds over here. The first two, so Lucas and Hosmer, taste very similar. Buttonwood really stands out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Really stands out.
very different. Do you
feel
dabble
like I
in
need to
a
go
lot of
through.
wine at
No.
all?
No.
Not at all.
Th-
Is this your
Like-
first time?
Like when my fiance will have it in the house, that's, basically the only time I'll.
So you don't have a preference then? Do you just kind of drink what she drinks?
Yeah.
That
it's
means you're
usually-
completely
it's usually
unbiased
red
right now,
and-
though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that she's red because if you feel we've talked about that before. Most people usually start out with sweet whites. I
Start
feel
with
like.
sweet. But a rosé is such a good in between. You get the dryness of a red, but the fruitiness and the crisp delicateness of the white. So it's kind of a perfect transition. So this is a good day for you to come on.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes I have like real thick, hearty reds.
Yeah, yeah. And
Which
you-
Jim enjoys.
yeah, of course. He's a very, very.
Quit talking about Jim. He's not here with us.
I know.
He's not here.
He's
You're
having
stuck
a
with
good
me.
time. Hopefully, he's off on some other place.
Some gallivanting.
enjoying life.
So let's go to the next one.
Okay.
So this is Hosmer Winery. It's a Lemberger rosé.
Okay, darker for sure.
Yep.
I see the darker.
So there's a nose of white cherry and mulberry with a rich palate of grapefruit curd and white raspberry.
Wow. Okay. So this seems like just the description and learning from you. I feel like I could pair this really well with some chocolate. Do you think?
Probably. You got some on your
Yeah, I'm
plate.
gonna try it. I'm gonna try it.
It is a little bit fruitier. It's still dry, but I think
more
it's a
intense.
touch fruitier.
Yep, definitely a little bit more intense, but I like it, of course. Now I'm gonna try some chocolate with it. Why is this all already? It's just all going so perfectly.
Because I guess I'm the master pairing, but I think it's also just that rosé is so versatile. Recently, I was doing it was the Seneca Chambers Business After Hours, they're virtual, and I had a Wagner Cab Franc rosé, and they're like, "Tell us what you're pairing it with for snacks," and I'm like, "I'm not prepared for that. I had a full wrap for dinner.
This is not
It
it.
was a chicken finger wrap with cheddar cheese, bacon, and honey mustard, and it paired perfectly.
It did?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
I think it's just that versatile. I even brought the honey mustard on if you wanted to dip your crackers in it.
Yeah.
Because it paired so well. It actually tasted better after I would take a bite of the wrap.
Good to know because I could eat a wrap every day
Yeah,
of my
it
life.
was so good. It was a low carb tortilla too. But
What's
Anyway.
okay, so newbie wine consumer here.
Let's do it.
What's your advice to people who maybe get a little overwhelmed with the whole prospect of maybe they're out to dinner with friends or family or whatever the case may be, with trying to, on the fly, figure out not only what they're going to eat, but what's going to work well with that?
Asking
Yeah.
for a friend.
asking for a friend. So If you're choosing a leaner meat, like a chicken dish or pasta or a whiter pasta, that's definitely a white wine. If you're getting a heavy red pasta or red meats, that's a red wine. But then there's the sweet or dry factor, which sweet wine can pair with foods. We've done it here before, but it's not as common in the restaurant scene, I don't think. Although that one time we did it with cookies and it was really fantastic.
Oh, yeah, it was delicious.
When in doubt, choose a Riesling. That's my go-to. I think Riesling...
So there is sort of like a default that can work with almost everything.
A rosé, I think, and a Riesling even. Riesling does go from dry to sweet, but it's always going to be a touch sweet because it is a fruit-forward grape. So it's not going to be super dry like an oaky red would be.
Right.
It'll pair... I haven't met a Riesling that hasn't paired with anything. And I'll eat just random things with my Rieslings.
That's cool.
I clearly don't care.
Like I feel like I always started with a semi-dry Riesling, and it seemed like that was a good starting for me when I was trying to do things. And now I'm just whatever. I'll just drink it all, obviously.
I keep saying it, and one time I do need to bring on food and show what doesn't pair well with it. I think that'd be a really unique experience because there are really bad pairings. Where you'll sip the wine, ooh, that's good. Eat the food, ooh, that's good. Sip the wine, you're like, that is terrible.
I am down for it.
I think that would be neat because we show the good pairings, but there are bad pairings.
We want people to buy all the stuff with the good pairings, and we set up, whole dinner and breakfast and lunch and snacks for them with their alcohol. So I think it's great, but we're gonna, I guess, go on to one of my favorites.
Yes, Pinot Noir Rosé is a favorite of mine as well. So we have two on here. We have Thirsty Owl and we have Nap.
Okay.
Thirsty Owls is light floral aromas on the nose with hints of kiwi and pink grapefruit, and there's a crisp, dry finish.
Oh, like that. Let's see.
I have had this recently, the entire bottle of it, because it was very delicious.
It's so good, and again, completely different type of pink.
Yep. Pinot Noir is just a lighter grape.
This is almost looks white on the camera. I will do this always now because I've seen so many people.
It's not working though because your skin color is showing through the white.
Okay, I tried. It kind of matches, if you're looking at it from us, it kind of matches my shirt.
It's a very pale pink.
Yeah, I love it.
That is a very big switch from the last one we just tried to this. There is a big downshift right
Isn't
there.
it crazy?
Was it a good, did you enjoy that downshift? Do you
good.
like that?
Yeah, that was a lot more easygoing.
Yes.
So Josh, I think, would be the type of person that goes a little bit more towards the dries than the sweets. Doesn't it seem like
we're
that?
working our way from dry to a little bit sweeter.
But
the Pinot Noir is just a lighter grape in general. It's not as heavy as the Cab Franc or the Lemberger.
Okay.
So it's lighter, it's crisper, it's fresher. And that's why I think I enjoy Pinot Noir Rosé versus... I do like all these cabs. I'm starting to evolve. But at first I didn't. And I think it's because Pinot Noir is such a light grape. And Pinot Noir is Jim's favorite red as well.
Yeah. It doesn't taste that sweet, this one, though, to me.
No.
It really doesn't.
It's a little fruit forward, but...
Very neutral. And I think that's what's drawing me to it.
Ooh, I love it.
That's
neutral. That is a good...
Nothing's like punching me in the face with it.
In a bad or good way.
We're going to have to ask Josh what his favorite one is after all of
that'll
this.
be hard.
Yeah, well, I always leave a little...
Eaten, there's so much.
I know.
But
I
that's
try
fine.
and leave a little bit in each glass.
You've learned to do that.
But I realized I already finished my Lemberger.
You must have really liked
it. Yeah. Okay.
Let me tell you about Nap's Pinot Noir Rosé.
Please
So
do.
this has a light bouquet of crabapple and strawberries and a slight trace of honeysuckle.
I feel like that's what I smell. Is that weird? I was thinking honey. That one just looks like water in your camera.
Yeah.
And to me, no.
Both of these are cool, crisp, and dry, but they have a beautiful combination of fruit and tart together.
Ooh.
I love Pinot Noir Rosé.
Oh my
I love them a
goodness.
lot.
This is so good. And this is from Nap?
From Nap, yep.
Love that. Would you say you notice people are mostly just drinking their rosés in the warmer months? Or do you see people buying them?
I think that because of the color, it's more of a summer months thing. When it's hot, people want that sweeter wine, and they kind of equate pink to sweet. Sometimes they're like, oh, well, is this a dry rosé or a sweet rosé? I'm like, well, sweet rosé is not actually a thing.
Yeah. See?
It's dry
Good to
rosé
know.
or it's just like a blush.
Yeah, right.
But those would be made with a white wine grape. But also, a lot of these are small batch production. That's why they're newly released. Like Hosmer, the Lemberger is only 100 cases total.
Oh no.
Oh, wow.
So they're sold out technically by the winter time. So
Right,
you're looking forward to it, and it comes out now when it's generally nice out. Again, not this weekend, but
Right.
but I personally think rosé is good year round. I think all wines are good year round, but they tend to have the hardy reds just for the winter because it's very like in the summer.
Literally what I thought. Like
That's how I describe it. That's not as of a summery wine, so they would switch to rosé.
I feel like just because of this podcast, I would dabble in rosés all year round.
They're good. I've been drinking the Nap ever since it came out a handful of weeks ago.
I never think that though. I always did what you said and put a rosé more towards warmer, nicer, lighter something to drink than the heavy reds.
I'm gonna eat something.
Okay, so speaking of that, here's my question. We've got a bunch of obviously snacky foods in front of us.
Yes.
Catherine, what are you picking if you're just having a rosé glass? What are you picking out of this heap as your like go-to
Heap.
out of this pile
It is a
of different foods? Because you really loaded these plates up.
I did.
What's your go-to, or what is maybe the best?
My
pair?
personal go-to is a wheat cracker, or actually bagel.
Sesame?
Why am I drawing a blank on them?
Everything
The
bagel?
little bagel crisps.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
What are they called? I'm forgetting. I think that's just what they're called.
Toasted something.
Yeah, with the Finger Lakes champagne cheddar
Okay.
and the bacon jam.
I literally am eating the bacon jam.
I
as
ate
we
that
speak.
almost all of the shutdown over the summer. I would just eat my own little miniature charcuteries like for dinner, and I was obsessed.
I
with
love it.
that.
Oh my god.
It paired so well with any wine.
You made that?
the jam,
bacon
yeah.
jam? Because she brought on a bacon jam before.
It was really good. It was a jelly kind of jam.
Yeah, and I have like dreamt about it for times since then, and this is just as good. You're just so amazing. You can just do it all.
Thanks.
It is a
It's
skill.
a skill.
When you look at this, Josh, what would be the first thing that you're going for?
Probably something that's heavy in carbs, so the crackers. Probably
Not
just
the
to kind
olives.
of like just to neutralize. Yeah, no, I'm avoiding the olives. Frankly, I'm avoiding the pickles too, even though I like the pickles as a standalone. That back and forth. Mm-hmm. I tried it. It's
all right,
that's
fair.
Not.
Yeah, that's
working.
maybe that's one of the things. Yeah. I am a person that goes for the cheese. I am a cheese till I die type of girl, and
I am as well.
Wine and cheese to me just goes amazing, and I'm obsessed with the Finger Lakes champagne. Like, I try and put that on every single board I have now.
Yeah,
and
it's so good.
also, obviously, I love me some good old mozzarella. They have these cute little sharing mozzarella balls you can put on your little boards that are just delicious. They have them. I'll have to show you. They have them in a few places. But
I just did a bite of goat pepperoni and cheese with a Lemberger after, and it was impeccable.
The Nap Winery one that I'm having right now with this, I think it's definitely the Finger Lakes champagne cheddar. I would have it all day, every day. So
I love it. It's so... The best way for me to describe that cheese is feminine.
Oh!
Because it is so, like... I don't know how else to describe it. It's got that delicacy to it.
Which one are we talking about now?
Okay, it's going to look... Mine, what does yours look like? It's the thicker...
They're the thicker chunks.
Right?
Because it comes in a giant triangle wedge, and I don't know how to cut it ever.
Let me see what you...
You'll smell it.
Nope, that's mozzarella.
That's mozzarella.
It's this.
Nope,
that's goat cheese.
It's one of these?
Nope, that's the actual cheddar, I think. So it's
yeah.
So it's this one.
Smell it. You'll smell the...
I think Josh
doesn't it smell like feminine and delicate?
They look like this, Josh. They look like
I suppose
thicker,
that's one way to describe it.
The thickest ones there. The thickest ones in your thing that I think you already ate the most of. That's what it is. The ones that you ate out of already.
That's my go-to cheese. I am obsessed with it. It is so good. And pretty much all the wineries will sell it. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, it melts.
I get it at Sauter's because it's right around the corner.
It's amazing.
Yep, Top sells it.
I want you to tell us what our...
we're already to our bonus wine. Okay.
I know.
Bonus time.
Okay, so what we have here, this is Blanc de Franc from Buttonwood Grove.
Okay.
So it is similar to a rosé in that it is a red grape that is not red.
I see some bubbles in this one.
It's not carbonated, but
It's not?
that could be just
What
from...
is it called? I have some leg.
Leg?
Leg?
Leg is when you swirl it and it drips down.
Yeah, so what does that mean again?
The more leg, the sweeter it is.
Okay.
So this is 3% residual sugar. So this is a red grape that is no contact with skin. If there's any, it's very minimal, which so you can tell. Whereas Buttonwood's other one,
Right, yeah. The difference.
same grape, different
difference.
skin, different
Big
skin
difference, I
contact. So
Crazy.
you'll get light honeysuckle and tangerine aromas with pink grapefruit, golden raspberry, and candied orange peel on this
Whoa.
one.
It
And I've been-
blows my mind how much they can, like,
Just change.
yeah, and put in one little glass. Well, one bottle. But, all right, let's try it. Here we go. Ooh.
That is good.
I can't even pick. I don't even think
I'm
I
not
can
asking
pick.
you to pick a favorite.
But I always have to try and pick a favorite when I'm here because I like try to remember and be like, I gotta add that to my collection. I gotta add that to my collection.
Well, these
Okay.
are all
So
released.
another newbie question here.
Quit asking them; they're hard.
Do they vary by year? So could you possibly have two of essentially the same thing from two different years that taste kind of significantly different?
Yes, you can. Because maybe the weather was completely different. A drier versus wetter.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, which that can affect it totally. The winter could also affect it. Maybe they lost a lot of bud during freezes. So maybe they have a different winemaker too, a transition. And so it's just really kind of comes down to the growing conditions for the most of it.
And like, how do you know what your growing conditions are going to
And
be?
based
here in the
on
Finger
when they're
Lakes?
picked. So the longer a grape is on the vine, the higher the Brix level is, which Brix is the way to measure sweetness. So that's why the late harvest wines that you harvest when it's 17 degrees out are extremely sweet because they've been on the vine for so long. So the longer you wait to pick one of these, the little bit sweeter it'll be. So this
Crazy.
Cab Franc Rosé may have been picked sooner than the Blanc de Franc ones that they were designating for.
Yeah.
But again, sometimes they're like, oh, these aren't quite ready, but we're about to have 7 wet days that aren't ideal for picking. Let's pick it because that's better than
Waiting.
Yeah,
rotting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I actually talked to them at Buttonwood. They said this Cab Franc Rosé is totally different than last year's.
Okay.
Yeah, which can happen.
So good.
So you might have a favorite wine, and then the next year, maybe like even more, or maybe it's not as good. So that's why I always encourage trying again and again. If you're like, I don't really love Lemberger, well, try it again next year because it might taste totally different or
Blows
just
my
different
mind.
enough for you to like it.
Right.
Because of the weather or whoever's working in the vineyards or whatever.
Isn't that so crazy? Like to just think about the difference.
Right. And like,
year
because
to
beer
year.
is the same. They don't have vintages, but like, if you get a Busch Light, it's going to always taste like Busch Light. But a Cab Franc Rosé or whatever will taste different year to year, just a little bit.
That would make me really sad if like one year I was
I was
in
going to say
love
that
with
could be a
it.
huge letdown.
Yeah.
My White Claw isn't as
Maybe
good
like
this year.
a huge surprise in a good way, too.
Right.
Exactly.
That's why like I feel like people probably stick to their wines and are so nervous to branch out, but you coming on this show
But
just
sometimes
shows.
if you stick to it, you'll still get a difference.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So don't always stick to it. That's what the tastings are for. Pick the one you love the most and pick the 4 or 5 other ones that you aren't sure about because you don't know. And
Yeah.
it's different year to year.
God, no, I need to be more of an adult when I do some
I
wine
try to when I
tastings.
go to wine tastings now, I always try to try stuff that I've never had before or that I don't think I like because I know what I like.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've found things that I do like by doing that because I
Right.
can be open-minded about it. I'm in the industry, so I'm not your average taster, but it's just a great concept to apply.
It really is because I'm the opposite from you, and I'm the one like, oh, I know I like this one, this one, this one, so I'm going to
Yeah.
taste this at 5 different wineries.
Yeah, no, try different stuff always.
Okay, so that is definitely something when we've gone on wine tours in the past.
Right.
By the end of it, I feel like I've tried the same thing 150 times, and I'm just bored
Yeah.
out of my mind. That's probably the exact pitfall I'm falling into. every
Absolutely. It sounds
And
just
if
like
you go
it,
to too many, they start to blur together anyways.
which happens to
Which
me
does happen,
often.
yes.
That's why I'm just going to, if I'm going to blur them together, I'm going to try all different ones.
blur them differently.
Yeah, I'm going to blur them in all different ones.
Yeah, I mean, it's what's neat though. So as we see here, the 3 different Cab Francs or even the 2 Pinot Noirs, they're different from producer to producer.
Yeah.
So you could try the same Riesling at 6 different wineries, and you'll taste 6 different Rieslings.
True.
But try other different ones as well.
You might have to have a more refined taste.
You're not tasting
to
a
really
difference?
Spot the difference. I'll tell you what. The first grouping, so the first grouping of 3 here, that was the grouping where it was very easy to tell the difference.
Okay.
In
yeah.
the last grouping of 2 down here, it was much harder to tell the difference.
I could see that. Let me try them again. Let me see. Let me smell.
I have to say though, as far as a winner to my unique taste buds go, that the Buttonwood from the first grouping is
The Cab Franc Buttonwood?
is a leader, I think.
I think, honestly, I gravitated today towards the Lemberger, which is different
Yeah, it's
for
empty
me.
for you.
Yeah, it's empty for me, and I'm supposed to go back and try them all like I usually do. But this one was just like, it was so fresh and so smooth.
I kept tasting that one thinking it was going to soften up a bit,
Yeah.
and it didn't.
Weird. Isn't it crazy? Look at our different taste buds. Maybe it's
Strange.
just because I'm, drink a lot more wine than Josh does.
You know what you're tasting.
What do
and
you
I'm
usually
just
drink?
not.
Are you a beer guy?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, of course.
What kind of beer, though? Are you a fancy beer guy or are you just a basic beer guy?
Almost any IPA is
Oh,
fine.
okay.
It's
So you
fine.
are fancy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's-
Fancy to a degree.
There's
I mean,
a
I'm
lot
not-
to that. And we talk about this all the time. The Finger Lakes has expanded so much with all the wines that they can do and now all the different craft breweries
Yeah.
that are popping up. Like, it's crazy.
There's
You
something
could-
for everybody.
I'll say
Yeah.
this: whether it's craft beer or wine or whatever the case may be, the heavier and sweeter it is, the more sort of away from it I've gotten.
That makes
to
sense.
Be like it just isn't,
Yeah.
Because it's not really a beer so much anymore,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
you know?
When I was younger, trying to sneak alcohol and stuff, I was drinking
Terrible.
Red Cats.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like super white, super. Nah.
There's nothing wrong with
No,
Red Cat.
there's
Everyone
not.
has.
No,
but
no, no.
That's like a
I'm
starter
sorry. That's
period.
like-
It's
yeah.
like 10% residual sugar, whereas
Ugh.
Yeah.
our sweetest one here was 3%.
Okay,
Is that
see,
typically
yeah.
how as the palate sort of refines and gets more specific? Do people tend to track that way?
Mostly, yeah. Like
sweet,
9 times out of
usually?
10, you usually start really sweet because it's palatable
Right.
to your tongue that's never really had anything besides soda or juice,
Right.
you know?
Yep.
Yeah, true.
But the more you experiment and try it, the drier you get. I was too. I used to drink Red Cat. Remember when they had that giant bottle?
Bag? Oh, the big. Yeah.
It was huge. Like I used to drink that all the time, and now I'm like
I
it's just
know.
too sweet for me. It's
Right.
too sweet for me.
I've noticed that too.
And now I'm starting to drink things that say dry in the
love
title.
I agree. I'm the
But
same
some
way.
people they like Red Cat or they like the sweet Concord grapes, and that's what they like and they always have, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But generally, you do track drier as you go. Some people
It's-
probably start super dry.
That would be weird to me. That sounds like foreign.
That to me,
Doesn't
that feels honestly like it would be setting yourself up for failure because I feel like you would
I agree.
more or less
yeah.
not really enjoy your
Right.
experience
That's
going through
fair.
that
It's
process.
like you're a kid equivalent to grape juice. You're trying sweet
Yeah.
first, and you're like, oh, I know this type of stuff. Capri Suns, like little sweet grape drinks, and then you're like, no, I'm sophisticated now. So
I
here
think
go
some of
try.
it has to do, like, the more I know about wine and the processes that go into wine, the more I appreciate it.
Yeah, me
and the more
too.
I especially appreciate what goes into making a wine that aged for 5 to 7 years.
Seriously,
You know, that was handpicked only at 5 a.m. so the sun wasn't too hot, or, you know, whatever. So I think that when you're first starting out, you don't care about that as much. But
Yeah.
the more you learn and the more you know, the more you grow
Ooh.
into liking the drier wines. I just made that up.
grow through what you go
Yeah.
through.
But I
definitely
think
said
that's
that
how it
too
is.
before.
There's that natural evolution. Sure, some don't fit the bill for it, but
Of course. What do you think, Josh? Do you think your time on our Wine Wednesday was knowledgeable, and you're going to go and buy some new wines?
Who knows? Well, I don't know that I'll be. I don't know that I'll be running to the liquor store tonight to pick
Wow,
up any
rude.
new wines, but I will say this: maybe my eyes and my taste buds have been opened up to something a little different.
Good. I love that. That's exactly what we need here.
And I know if I'm going to be filling in on FLX Weekly anytime soon, it's going to be on the last Wednesday of the month.
Yes. All right. Then you did your job like you always do. People that are watching need to know that there are tons of new rosés that you can go out and try before they're gone again.
How has the time already passed? I still have things to say.
Okay, well, we're going to let you say your last things, and then
Okay.
we're going to have to sign our people off because it is that
All
time.
right, get my handy notes out.
Yes, please go
I just
ahead.
wanted to update everyone on some of the stuff that I've been doing in the office that's kind of
Yes.
new and out into the public.
Yes.
I've teamed up with Nap Winery, I think I mentioned this last month, to come up with some mixed cases. So you can get 6 different wines from 6 different wineries. I have a dry red, a dry white, a mixed dry, and then 2 different sweet options. So you can check that out on KugoWineShow.com under promotions. We'll ship them straight to your house. Unfortunately, it is New York State only, but it's still a really awesome opportunity to get different cases. Teachers, this is awesome for Christmas. I know they like to give out like wine gifts, so just buy it now and have it stored. I also launched our Bacon on the Laken event, April 16, 17, 18. Woo! April 17th is already sold out. It's sold out in 10 days.
Amazing.
But Friday and Sunday still have tables left. And lastly, on Friday, I launched tickets for Flights and Florals. This is a fun alternative to our Wine and Herb event. Just unfortunately, the herbs were also affected by the pandemic, so we just couldn't get them. So we decided to kind of give it a new little twist. So you'll get potted plants instead of potted
that's right
herbs.
up your alley, girl.
So, you can have something nice on your patio all summer long. Those are the 2 weekends between Mother's Day and Memorial Day in May. And
So,
that's
like,
on our website as well.
coming before you know it. That's what's
Unfortunately,
crazy.
yes.
Yeah. And I guess we're going into Easter this weekend, and I don't know if you guys are doing anything crazy for Easter, but I feel like rosé would go perfect with an Easter dinner.
I was like, I should have done an Easter dinner, but I already bought all the charcuterie stuff because this is on Sunday. I'm like, no, it's fine.
This was perfect. I'm going to eat this for the rest of the day. But like, really, that's all the time we have. Thank you for coming on, as always. We can't wait till you're here next month, not next week. And everybody that watched, we hope you enjoyed the show. If you liked it, you can click like, you can share with your friends, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll be back again next Wednesday, of course. And until then, try and enjoy this gloomy weekend here in the Finger Lakes.